You ever see someone who cranks out work like a machine, stays focused for hours, and never seems tired, while you're on your third coffee and still can't concentrate? You wonder, what are they on? Here's the secret. They're not on anything. They've just figured out how to hack their brain's natural productivity chemicals. And today, I'm going to show you the exact system to be so productive it feels illegal. No coffee needed, because stimulants are a crutch. Real productivity comes from neuroscience. Let's start with the truth about coffee. Caffeine doesn't give you energy. It blocks the chemical that makes you tired. That chemical is called adenosine. Throughout the day, adenosine builds up in your brain, making you feel sleepy. Caffeine fits into adenosine receptors and blocks them, so you don't feel the sleepiness. But here's the problem. The adenosine is still there, building up. When the caffeine wears off, all that accumulated adenosine crashes into you at once. That's the crash. You feel more tired than before. Caffeine isn't creating energy. It's borrowing it from later. And eventually you need more and more to get the same effect. Now, here's what productive people do differently. They work with their brain's natural chemicals instead of overriding them. Your brain has 4 key productivity chemicals: dopamine for motivation and focus, noradrenaline for alertness and drive, acetylcholine for learning and memory, and endorphins for stamina and resilience. When you learn to trigger these chemicals naturally, you don't need external stimulants. Your brain creates focus on demand. Let me show you how. First, dopamine. This is your motivation molecule. When dopamine is high, you're locked in. When it's low, you're distracted and unmotivated. Most people try to spike dopamine with social media, junk food, or drugs. But those spikes are followed by crashes. The key is to create steady, sustainable dopamine release. And the best way to do that is through progress. Your brain releases dopamine when you make progress toward a goal. Not when you achieve the goal, but when you move toward it. Here's how you use this. Break your work into small, clear milestones. Don't just say, "I'll work for 3 hours." Say, "I'll finish this section, then this one, then this one, then this one." Every time you complete a milestone, your brain releases dopamine, which fuels the next burst of focus. This is why video games are addictive. They're designed with constant progress feedback. Every level, every point, every achievement triggers dopamine. You can hack this same system for productivity. Make your work into a game with clear wins, and your brain will reward you with focus. Second, noradrenaline. This chemical makes you alert, sharp, and ready to act. It's your brain's version of an energy drink, and you can trigger it without caffeine. How? Cold exposure. When your body hits cold water, your noradrenaline spikes instantly. That's why cold showers wake you up so fast. But you don't need a full ice bath. Even splashing your face with cold water or stepping outside in the cold for 2 minutes will trigger the response. I do this every morning. Before the first start work, I splash my face with freezing water for 30 seconds. My brain snaps into alertness immediately. No coffee, just biology. Third, acetylcholine. This is your learning and focus chemical. It's what allows you to concentrate deeply without distraction. And the best way to boost it naturally? Movement. Specifically, light physical activity before focused work. Studies show that even 10 minutes of walking increases acetylcholine levels, which enhances cognitive function. That's why Steve Jobs used to have walking meetings. He understood that movement primes the brain for focus. So before a deep work session, move your body, walk, stretch, do jumping jacks. Anything that gets your blood flowing. Your brain will focus better because acetylcholine is elevated. Fourth, endorphins. These are your resilience chemicals. They help you push through discomfort and maintain stamina. You don't need to run a marathon to trigger them. Just brief, intense effort works. Push-ups to failure, a 1-minute plank, a sprint up the stairs. Short bursts of intensity flood your brain with endorphins, which carry over into your work. You feel capable of handling hard tasks because your brain is chemically primed for resilience. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. It's 8 a.m. You need to do deep work. Here's the protocol. First, you move for 10 minutes. Walk outside, do some push-ups. Get your body activated. This triggers acetylcholine and noradrenaline. Now your brain is alert and ready to focus. Next, you splash your face with cold water. This spikes noradrenaline even higher. You sit down at your desk. Before you start, you set a clear milestone. I will complete this task in the next 25 minutes. That milestone primes dopamine release. You start working. Your brain is locked in because all 4 chemicals are optimized. You finish the milestone. Dopamine hits. You feel good. You set the next milestone and repeat. No coffee, no stimulants. Just neuroscience. Now let's talk about focus blocks. Blocks. Your brain can't maintain deep focus indefinitely. It operates in ultradian rhythms, cycles of roughly 90 minutes. For the first 60 to 90 minutes, your focus is sharp. After that, your prefrontal cortex starts depleting glucose and needs rest. Most people ignore this and try to push through, which leads to mental fatigue and wasted time. Smart people work with the rhythm. They do focused work for 90 minutes, then take a 15-minute break. During the break, they move, rest, or do something completely different. This allows the brain to recover. When they return, focus is restored. Over a full day, they get more done in 4 focused 90-minute blocks than most people do in 10 distracted hours. Here's a personal story. I used to work 10-hour days, thinking more hours meant more output. But my productivity was terrible. I was distracted, slow, and exhausted. Then the first learned about ultradian rhythms and changed everything. Now the first work in 90-minute sprints. Full focus, no distractions, 1 task at a time. After 90 minutes, I stop completely. I walk, stretch, or just rest. Then the first start the next sprint. I get more done in 6 hours now than I used to in 10, because the first I'm working with my biology, not against it. Let's talk about distractions. Your environment controls your focus more than your willpower does. If your phone is next to you, your brain is constantly monitoring it, even if you're not looking at it. That's called continuous partial attention, and it destroys focus. The solution is simple. Remove the distraction physically. Put your phone in another room. Close unnecessary tabs. Clear your desk. Your environment should have only one option: work. When work is the path of least resistance, your brain follows automatically. Here's another advanced tactic: time boxing. Instead of working until a task is done, you work for a set period, then stop. For example, I will work on this for 25 minutes, then move on. This creates urgency, which boosts noradrenaline and focus. It also removes the overwhelm of open-ended tasks. Your brain knows the session has a limit, so it engages fully. Parkinson's law states that work expands to fill the time available. When you give yourself 3 hours, you'll take 3 hours. When you give yourself 45 minutes, you'll finish in 45. Time boxing forces efficiency. Now, let's address energy management. Productivity isn't about time, it's about energy. You can have 12 hours in a day, but if your energy is low, you'll get nothing done. Energy comes from 3 sources: physical, mental, and emotional. Physical energy comes from sleep, nutrition, and movement. Mental energy comes from focus and rest cycles. Emotional energy comes from purpose and meaning. If any of these are depleted, productivity tanks. So you manage all 3. You sleep well, eat clean, move daily. You focus hard, then rest deeply. You work on things that matter to you, not just obligations. When energy is high, Productivity is automatic. Let me give you the ultimate productivity framework. It's called the Power Hour. First thing in the morning, before anything else, you do your most important task. No emails, no meetings, no distractions. Just one task. Your brain is freshest in the morning. Cortisol is naturally elevated, and willpower is at its peak. Use that window for your highest leverage work. Finish your Power Hour, and you've already won the day. Everything else is bonus. Here's your action plan. Tomorrow morning, try this protocol. Wake up, drink water, move for 10 minutes, cold water to the face, sit down and set one clear milestone, work for 90 minutes, full focus, take a 15-minute break, repeat. No coffee until after your first sprint, and only if you actually want it, not because you need it. Track how you feel, track how much you get done. Compare it to a normal day. You'll be shocked. Let me summarize everything. Real productivity doesn't come from stimulants. It comes from optimizing your brain's natural chemicals. Dopamine through progress milestones. Noradrenaline through cold exposure and movement. Acetylcholine through physical activity. Endorphins through brief intensity. Work in 90-minute focus, blocks. Remove distractions from your environment. Use time boxing to create urgency. Manage physical, mental, and emotional energy. And protect your Power Hour every morning. When you combine all these elements, productivity stops being a struggle. It becomes your default state. You'll focus deeper, work faster, and feel better than you ever did on caffeine. Because you're not fighting your biology, you're using it. Your brain is the most powerful productivity tool you have. Learn how to operate it, and nothing can stop you. No coffee needed. Just science, strategy, and execution. That's how you become so productive it feels illegal.